just stuck in between natural and urban scene. 10,000 years to decide between. Midnight goes so fast when you slip and fall and bust your back, baby. You always do what your mother said you're supposed to do. Join me.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the Pollock video. I'm going to attempt to try and walk you through each of these controls and what they do. If you look at the far left, the bypass switches will be left and right, and when you have them in the down position, it's a true bypass, so there's no circuitry in the line. When you flip it up, then the Pollock is fully engaged. Next to that, you have the left and right calibration, and the idea for those would be to get your volume level up to where you want it so that your output level at 5 is unity gain, or if you want to increase it or decrease it along with the output level, then you are able to do that, and it gets your left-right balance leveled out. Next is your color knob, which is really going to be where your compression is applied. So when it's all the way to the left side, then compression will be applied broadband, full frequency spectrum, and then when you move it to the middle position, it's going to take your highs and your mid-highs, and it's going to start to compress just those, and then when you have it all the way to the right position, then it'll just compress everything above about 9 to 10K. It can act as a de-esser if you want it to. It has kind of an interesting response to different types of music. It can be very, very useful in a number of situations. The style switch is also a 3-position switch. It's right below the color knob. And what it does is it acts as a side chain for the music that you send through it. So in the far left position, what it's going to do is it's going to actually let you compress based upon all frequencies. So you're triggering everything. In the middle position, it also triggers on everything. However, it does give you a little bit of a boost on the top end. Just a slight boost to kind of add a little pizzazz once you've added heavy compression. In the far right position, it will actually limit your side chain to the mids and the highs. So if you're trying to trigger off for something like vocals or a snare, then that's a good position to have. Your compression knob is very straightforward. Obviously, the more you turn it up, the more it compresses. And that's pretty much it. The smooth aggressive switch allows you to change the characteristics of the EQ. So in aggressive mode, obviously it's going to attack a lot harder on the transient responses and, well, anything that's coming through it. It's going to attack really, really hard and really fast. Shockingly fast for an opto compressor. When it's on the smooth mode, though, what it's going to be doing is it's going to be acting a little bit more like an RMS kind of compression. It just levels everything out, and it's really difficult to tell what your release speed is, because as it's going, it actually changes dynamically with the music. Kind of strange, sounds odd, but when you hear it in action or see it in action, then it'll start to make more sense. The dry-wet control is my personal favorite. Even though it's not technically a dry-wet control, instead what it does is it actually lets you change the threshold at which compression can no longer be applied anymore. So let's say that you're compressing something and the peaks are hitting real hard and the music's getting really out of control. It's just kind of disappearing. As you pull the knob back towards dry, what it's going to do is it's not going to change the amount of compression that's actually happening in the opto circuit itself. It's going to let that through like normal. Instead, what's going to happen is it's going to limit the amount of that compression that can be applied to the music. The result of this is it causes the release characteristics to vary with the music. And so when you're in especially smooth mode, but even aggressive mode, as you start pulling back towards dry, you'll still see compression, but it'll be compression that is limited in its application. And it just it makes the Pollock into something that I've never personally used before, and it makes it just kind of this Swiss Army knife for just about any source I want to run through it. The output knob obviously is a gain makeup knob, and it can go from 0, like no gain, to plus 18 over unity. It's got a whole lot of gain on tap, so be careful. And then finally, you see the VU trim knob on the far right side. That allows you to make sure that you're always set your meter to 0 in case it's drifted for whatever reason. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through some of this music that we recorded earlier, and instead of doing just an A-B test, instead I'm going to go ahead and start messing with these knobs so you can kind of see how they respond, how they interact, and it will allow you to get an idea of how crazy this unit can get and how much the dry-wet can really bring it back. Once you'll find, in fact, one of the things that I do a lot is I'll actually set the compression very high with wet all the way up, especially on aggressive mode, and you'll see the music just start to just completely get out of control. And then as I turn back the dry-wet knob, it allows the whole thing to just gel together in ways that you couldn't normally do with any other compressor on the market.